Hello, my special friends. Many people who are just starting the spiritual path of awakening and transition to the fifth dimension often think that higher dimensions are someplace, and you need to go there, fly, move, etc. That is, leave everything and move to another place. It is especially difficult to imagine that we have to leave people close to us. To put it very briefly, we can say that the transition occurs in the consciousness of a person. That is, vibrations increase, and this will entail a change of the physical body, as well as expanding and restoring our innate divine possibilities. We have forgotten restoration of divine memory, etc. In addition, if we remember that we have many bodies in addition to the physical one, and these bodies are already now in other dimensions, then we can completely calm down because we are already partially in the place. Those of our bodies that are still in dense 3D vibrations will gradually evolve and also shift, pull themselves up to the high vibration spheres of our existence. A small selection of information on this topic. I hope you find it as useful and interesting as it was for me. How the transition to the fifth dimension happens. Many are at a loss as to what your stay will look like in two dimensions at the same time, and I will try to explain it to you today as simply as possible. Imagine your body as a transparent silhouette consisting of several layers of light. These are all your bodies, including the physical. When you are in the world of the third dimension, your subtle bodies are compressed quite tightly. This is explained by the fact that the vibrations of the world do not allow them to unfold in full breath, and they seem to be compressed under the influence of the energies of low vibrations pouring on them from all sides. When you transfer your consciousness and hence the subtle bodies into the fifth dimension, they bloom bathing in the energies of light and love, and begin to expand, sometimes increasing tenfold. But at the same time, your physical and etheric bodies remain in the third dimensional world, since they have not yet transformed enough to be able to move into the world of fifth density along with your subtle bodies. When this happens, and your bodies are completely transformed into light crystalline, once you will be able to move there completely. On the physical plane, it will look like you disappear for some moments from the field of view of the people around you. Be prepared for the fact that even without the transition to the fifth density, people with low vibrations will sometimes not notice you because the light crystalline bodies already have a completely different structure, and your physical body will partially acquire the properties of subtle bodies. It will be so rarefied, and for some people become simply invincible. But of course, this will happen only if the gap between the vibration levels of certain people is too large. Until this happens, you will be able to travel to the world of the fifth dimension only with your subtle bodies, and this is already happening to many of you. Sometimes this happens involuntarily at the moments of the highest spiritual upsurge when you are literally overwhelmed by the feeling of unconditional love for everyone and everything in the world. And then you can fully feel the magical atmosphere that reigns in the world of the fifth dimension. Some of you pass into this world during meditation, others by transferring your consciousness there, and others have learned to do this almost automatically. Each of you has his own abilities, his own techniques, his own abilities. And I'm sure, my dear ones, that those who are sincerely strive to get into this new reality will definitely get there. But I ask you, do not let this become an end in itself, an obsession, a desire of your ego. This can happen only if you calmly, without excessive emotions and passions, work on yourself, remaining in a harmonious and calm state in your circumstances, under any life trials, and make your goal not the transition to the fifth dimension, but the elevation of your souls, gaining the consciousness of a God-man, revealing your divine essence in yourself. In other words, if you become a golden angel living on earth. The material world of the fifth dimension. Today I would like to continue talking about how your ascension will take place. As you have already understood from many of my previous messages, the world ascension is very conditional, since physically you will remain on earth, but it will already be in another earth. It will be the world of the fifth dimension. In other words, the earth will send along with those people who are attracted to it by vibrations. Now, I would like to dwell on how exactly the transition of the material things that surround you will take place. After all, this worries you too, doesn't it, my dears? And I want to please you and say that you will have the opportunity to move into a new reality along with your favorite things that will acquire new properties there, just like your physical bodies. You will be able to transform them according to your desire, for example, to improve your houses, but by the power of thought, intention, fantasy, without involving labor and material costs. You can move them to any place on the planet, teleport with them. You'll be able to create extraordinary beauty gardens, inventing new types of plants, trees, shrubs. You'll create beautiful, comfortable clothes, using all your imagination as well as culinary masterpieces. And all this will take you a fraction of a second, freeing up your time for creativity, for your favorite work which your soul will choose. As for the animals, some of them whose vibrational level will allow this will be able to go with you into the fifth dimension. This mainly concerns such highly developed animals as horses, dogs, and cats. That is, those species of animals that have been close to humans for many millennia and have learned to live in their information and the energy field, and therefore have been able to raise their level of vibrations together with humans. But even in the fifth dimension, they will largely depend on you, and you'll be able to improve your favorite with the power of your thoughts, but only with their consent, because there you will be able to communicate with them telepathically. As you can see, my dears, your possibilities will be truly endless. You will have to have the feeling that your life has suddenly turned into a fairy tale in which everything will immediately come true. You will experience a truly childlike delight, gradually getting used to the fact that now this is reality. Believe me, my dear, it will be so. And this new reality of yours will be dissolved in the ocean of love, boundless, immense, eternal. But in order to bring this wonderful time closer, try today to plunge forever into this universal ocean of love, which will take your souls into its warm waters and then gently and affectionately take you to the other shore, where you will be met by those who have been waiting for so long, was waiting for your return home, the light forces of the universe, who took on the mission of serving humanity. Everything that will be on earth, on the new earth, both living and non-living, will have completely different parameters. There will be a completely different density. In the truest sense of the word, it will be rarefied, that is mobile, amorphous, capable of taking on any forms and images, obeying the power of your thought. And what you will take with you from this life, of course, is not material things, but their images, beloved, dear to your heart, to which you have become attached with your soul. They will help you quickly get used to the world of the fifth dimension and feel at home there, with your familiar objects, and only then gradually learn to create a different reality which you will master based on new opportunities. The human psyche is arranged in such a way that, being sharply torn out of his usual environment, at first he feels lost even in ideal conditions. And of course, my dear, only those for whom material things are of secondary importance will get into the world of the fifth dimension. Only those people will get there whose souls are thirsty for new spiritual knowledge, who understand well the great truth that you can become happy only when everyone around you is happy. In a word, those who completely got rid of the thinking of the dual world, who realized themselves as a part of the universe, who has learned to live in an atmosphere of unconditional and boundless love. And now, my dear, try to honestly answer yourself the question: what would I take with me to the earth dimension from my current life? And depending on what your answer will be, you will be able to understand how ready you are for the transition right now. Write down your answer on paper, read it slowly and carefully, and try to feel the energy, the vibrations of what you wrote down. Addition about how our transition to fifth dimension will be combined with the transition of people close to us. The choice is always yours. Either stay in the three-dimensional world, descending to the levels of vibrations and which your loved ones are, or vice yourself, and try to pull them up with you. But this can happen only if you get rid of fear, this very low vibration type of energy. If you learn to trust yourself, God, the universe, in a word, your heart and your soul, and not live by inertia, following those hackneyed universal human concepts and the habits that have been planted in your heads for the centuries. And once again I repeat to you, my dears, you'll not disappear anywhere, you'll not evaporate, but you will change so much that you will already become human angels. And it will be so wonderful that others will want to be like you. You will lead people into a new life by your own example, and you will learn to see the sense of things, to see every human soul from the inside. You will learn to understand who were already ready to ascend and who still has a long, thorny path ahead, and you will treat this calmly from the height of the consciousness of the God-man, even if it concerns your own children. After all, a child is not your property, but an independent and independent soul that come into this world for own experience and not for yours or for someone else, and you are fully aware of this. With love, Liberty by Liberty.